We know that this whole smear on Joe Biden comes from the Kremlin. That's been clear for well over a year now, that they've been pushing this false narrative about the vice president and his son.
That's the House Intel Committee chair saying it's coming from the Kremlin. Let's bring in Texas GOP Congressman Louis Gohmert, member of the House Judiciary Committee. Louis, here we are again, Russia, Russia, Russia. By the way, Hunter Biden, Joe Biden, no one from the Biden campaign has denied that that is Hunter's laptop, that those emails, many of which have been confirmed, are that saying they're not saying this isn't true. Yet somehow Adam Schiff and others, this is a growing narrative, are saying, no, this is all from Russia. Help me out here, Louis.
Well, we know that Adam Schiff has been spreading misinformation that the DNC and the Clinton campaign paid for, that came from Russia, misinformation that came, as we know, probably from people that work for Putin. So knowing that, the one thing we don't know is whether or not Adam realizes that he is being an agent for the misinformation again from Russia, from Putin. That's what we don't know. And at some point where he keeps spreading the Russian lies, that it's Republicans spreading Russian lies, at some point you got to say, come on, man. If you believe that, you ain't thinking.
Congressman Gohmert, of course, the social media companies' role in suppressing this story is something that Congress is going to begin to look into. But I have a question about something else, Congress, and whether or not we're going to be looking into the FBI, who reportedly had Hunter Biden's laptop for upwards of a year before this came out from the shop owner. What do we know? What are we investigating about the FBI and how long they had this laptop and what they're doing with that information?
Well, that is the big question. They had this information. They kept it quiet. They allowed the president to be prosecuted in the House and then in the Senate and didn't say a word. And at some point, you've got to wonder about the FBI if 18 U.S.C. 4, misprision of a felony, where they had knowledge of actual commission of a felony cognizable by a court of the United States, and they concealed it. At some point, we got to look at whether the FBI is part of the crimes being committed. And to do that, we cannot have the FBI investigating the FBI. So I know there's some calling for the complete dissolution of the FBI, but we have at least got to have the Washington part of it investigated. And it may take a special prosecutor that the president himself has to appoint. I told him 3 years ago he had the power to appoint a special prosecutor, but the power of the DOJ to appoint special prosecutors comes from the president himself. He has that power. It's an executive power. But it's time to have a special prosecutor get the resources he needs to start investigating people that were at the top of the FBI and people that continue to work there. It's really gotten dangerous.
Congressman, unfortunately, we don't have a lot of time left, but it's just a couple of weeks till the election, and we'd be remiss if we didn't ask you about the stimulus talks and if there have been any updates. We know that Nancy Pelosi and Mnuchin are still working together to try to come forward with a comprehensive bill, but that there is some talks of a skinny bill that may be approved soon with some PPE and some other important elements in there, PPP funds, I'm sorry, and some other important elements in there. Is that going to happen? People are really hungry for some help here.
Yeah, the Republicans are anxious both in the House and in the Senate to get some help, get some additional help out there. Pelosi and Schumer trying to hold it up to get, well, as leverage to get bailouts for special things that had nothing to do with COVID. So what I'm hearing is it sounds like the Senate may go ahead and pass what you're calling a skinny bill that doesn't have everything Pelosi wants and demands, but it may not go anywhere in the Senate.
Yep, doesn't seem like there's much traction. Representative Louis Gohmert, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it.
Great to be with you.
Great to have you.
Come on, man.
Come on, Louis. You delivered for us. All right, let's bring it out.